Hello and welcome. I'm with Sam Hunter today. Sam is the CEO of Occupational Therapists Australia. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us today to have a chat. Thanks. Let's get started. We're going to delve into the first question, which is, what does the way we work look like for associations in the next 3 to 5 years?
I think that's a really, really interesting question because it's such a fast-moving world that we live in, and associations are not exempt to that, although sometimes as a sector we seem to be a bit slow in catching on. So I think in the next couple of years, one of the things that we really need to give some consideration into is we'll never go back to the way we worked before the pandemic. So work from home, work options, remote working, all of those are on the table now, and I think that helps us to build really diverse teams. I think it helps with inclusion and diversity, and it helps with having a lot of different voices at the table. So we're not all metro or we're not all regional, we can have a blend so we can get the best people from wherever we need to get them from. So I think that's one thing. I think the other thing that I'm really interested in at the moment, and I think is really going to shape us, is technology and how we work with it, specifically around AI. So I think that one of the things that's going to be critical for the future is critical thinking and creative thinking are going to be key, and people lifting up in their capability, because we're going to have expanded capacity through the technological gains we'll be getting. So I'm kind of excited, but it's moving fast, so it is really trying to keep up, have an appetite for risk, but manage that.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. Thank you. Are there any new initiatives that you're exploring within your association? Any fresh projects, new ideas?
Well, with the people piece, one of the things that we have introduced this year is work from anywhere policy, which is fantastic. So all of our staff have the opportunity to work from wherever in the world they'd like to for a month a year. And as long as they can do their job and they can meet the association's objectives, and we can continue to service our members. And that's been taken up by about 10% of our staff. So since we launched it about 4 months ago, which has been fantastic. So we've got a lot of people who have got families internationally, and that's after the pandemic. It's allowed them to go home and spend some real quality time with their families. We know now going overseas is very expensive. So if you're going back to the UK or Singapore or the Philippines, where we've had people travel to, or the US, it allows you to spend some really good quality time with your family and take some annual leave. So that's been a really great benefit for our staff so far.
That's a new one. I've not heard that policy before. That's amazing. And where have people worked from?
So we've had some of our staff have worked from the US, they've worked from Bali, they've worked from the Philippines, from Singapore, from South Korea. So we've got a really diverse workforce already. And really after COVID, we've had people who haven't been able to visit their families for 3 years. So it's been something that's been easy for us. It's been really rewarding to see them jump online. You can meet their families. So our finance manager, you can meet her mum from South Korea, who she's worked for us for years and years, and I've never met Cynthia's mum. So that's been really lovely.
I love that.
And having people having quality time with their families is so important.
That's so great, and the priorities are there, and that'll attract people to your business as well that you might not have otherwise. So I love that as a recruitment strategy. I love that. So that's great. Thank you. What initiatives are you employing to attract younger members to the association in terms of your membership base, but also in terms of staff?
Well, I think with the staff, it's that flexibility. We also have your birthday off, right? Because I don't like working on my birthday. I don't think anyone should work on their birthday. So that's just when you come. We have, your birthday off. We have a half-a-day health check. We fly all of our staff in for town halls 3 or 4 times a year, which is always a lot of fun. So there's always the social as well as the business imperatives there. So, and also I think that I like to think that I encourage particularly females and support them to take a career approach to their first job, and to show them opportunities that they can continue to grow through the association. We're not huge, so people will leave, they will cap out at some point, but I see that as a real privilege to see them on their journey and to help facilitate them when they're too big, when they're at the top of their range for us, to help them to move on to something else. I see that as a real responsibility as a female leader as well.
Absolutely, I love that. And then leading with different skills to the ones they entered the workforce with.
Yeah, and now in associations, there's a huge range of learning and development opportunities that are specific to associations.
Yeah, love that. That's great. Thank you so much. Are there any challenges that keep you awake at night? If so, what are they?
Yeah, one of the things that does keep me awake at night, because I think the real exciting thing about working from anywhere, working from home, that does come with the opposite, which is the challenge of the transfer of corporate knowledge or your corporate culture and your knowledge in a really timely way. So whilst working from home, working remotely, hybrid, they're all here to stay. It is a real challenge to make sure that staff are onboarded and brought up to speed. It's the water cooler conversations. You make a cup of tea, you learn things by osmosis when you are in a room full of people. So that keeps me awake at night, is how do we make that happen more seamlessly so the member experience continues to be at front of mind for everybody and everyone's got the information they need. Because it's often the little things, it's not the stuff you can find on a database, it's the conversations about people, personalities, history that you learn, that you don't.
That's it.
Yeah. So that probably keeps me awake at night. How do you keep good culture and good corporate knowledge?
And have you got any answers to that? Have you had any?
No, but if anybody has, please.
Let us know. Fantastic. Thank you. Share with us one special skill that you might have that might surprise us.
Ooh, what is a special skill that I have? I mix a really good cocktail.
Ooh, that's a great skill.
Yeah, I do. I have spent. I had a gap year at 50, and I travelled. I did some backpacking.
Fantastic.
I spent my 50th in Japan. I went swimming with whale sharks. I had a whole heap of adventures, which was fantastic because I never had one in my youth. So.
Amazing.
And every night I was at home, I mixed a different cocktail.
So, did you have any favourites?
I do. I have got 3 at-home favourites.
Yeah.
My 3 at-home favourites are a lemon drop, a white lady, and a lemon meringue martini.
Oh, they all sound delicious.
I know, because I have a lemon tree in my backyard that always has lemons on it. It never doesn't have a lemon. It's like the magic pudding of lemon trees.
Right, so the secret skill for a great cocktail is a lemon tree.
Gin and a lemon tree. You're done.
Simple. I love it. Keep it simple. That's great. Thank you so much. What's the one song that would have you running for the dance floor?
I've got 2. Same band. M People. Moving On Up.
Yes.
Is you can't go past.
You can't,
Moving
can
On
you?
Up.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And One Night in Heaven.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's an absolute 80s vibe. I'm an 80s chick.
Yeah.
And spent a lot of time in London in the 80s on the dance floors.
Whereabouts in London?
I lived in Bloomsbury, and so I was a regular at Heaven and Propaganda.
Ah, fun.
And M People.
Well, on repeat, I imagine.
High rotation.
I love that.
Still get a good run.
Great songs. I love the 80s. Can't knock that. That's fantastic. Thank you. Amidst all the professional juggling that you do and running the team and looking after the association, do you have a guilty pleasure that powers you through a particularly tough day?
I do. I think I'm I'm certainly the first person I know in associations. I used to work very closely with Victoria Police, and I've stolen something from VicPol. Don't tell them. I've stolen the idea of a chief of staff. So I implemented, a few years ago now, I appointed one of my staff as my chief of staff, and she is my closest trusted advisor, and she runs my office seamlessly, and I would be absolutely lost without her. It's I think for a CEO to continually be able to be high performing and outward facing, it's really, I think, we're on the cusp of this is going to be seen as a critical appointment. It just releases you from, it's not the administration, it's much more high level trusted advice. So she's also a good debriefer, and we have an endless box of Hague chocolates on my desk. So those are the things that power me through the day.
Not any odd chocolate.
No,
I love that. Do you share them, or are they just for you?
Well, no, I do share.
Good.
Leah knows where they are.
The right people know where they are. Fantastic. I love that. Thank you so much. Share with us one quirky or unexpected hobby that you've got. So something that you enjoy to do outside of the realms of work.
I am a but enthusiastic golfer. I started baking during COVID, which is much to my son's disappointment because my 28-year-old son said I never baked a birthday cake for him in his life. And then all of a sudden during COVID by myself, I was producing these masterpieces. So I bake a little bit less now, but I've just recently discovered, which is a bit of a strange thing, is flower arranging.
Oh.
It's very peaceful and meditative. It's an expensive hobby.
Yes.
But no more or less expensive than cocktail making. So.
Yes, well, yeah.
And you can do the both.
For quite. Oh yeah. Oh no, make
flowers
quite
and cocktails
at the same time. I love
and
that.
baking.
That's an excellent combination.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a homebody, so I like those kind of things.
I love that. Fantastic. That's great. Thank you so much. And that's everything.
Oh.
Thank you so much.